Hi everyone, this video will show you how to access Google Classroom, how to change your theme in Google Classroom, and it's basically an overview of every feature available as well as how to create a new class. So the first thing we're going to do is access Google Classroom. If you look in the top left corner of your screen, you see a rainbow tile that says Apps. You can click on that button and you have a Google Classroom app appear on your screen. If you do not have this app on your screen, you can go to the web store in order to search for the app and find it so that it will be displayed here for you. There's also a web store button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and you could get to the web store that way. Another way to access Google Classroom is to come up to the browser bar and type in classroom.google.com, and that will also take you there. The quickest and most efficient way is to simply have the app on your app screen. Once you access Google Classroom, any class that you are either a student or participant of, or you are a teacher in, a class you've created yourself, will show on your main screen. In order to join a class as a student or create a new class, you will click the plus sign in the top right hand corner next to your login name. Once you click that, you can see that you will either be able to join or create a new class. In order to join a class of another teacher's or to have your students join your class, they will click this plus sign. Once they're logged in, they'll click join class, and then you'll provide them with a code. And I'll show you how to give students that code. You'll provide them with a code, and then they will now become a participant in your class. For this session, we're going to click Create Class. It asks you to please put in a class name, a section if you would like. Sections would be such as Block 1, Block 2, and then you can give it a subject. I'm just going to call my class name Math and Block 1. You do not have to put in a section or a subject if you don't want to. Click Create. It automatically creates this class and opens your screen to the class page. This is what Google Classroom will look like inside each class. You can change the image that appears at the top of your screen. That's called your class theme. On the right side of the screen, you see the word Select Theme. When you click on it, you can browse the different themes that are in the gallery and make a selection on the theme that you prefer. To select it, simply click on it and click Select Class Theme, and it will change your image at the top of the screen. You also see at the top of the screen the name of the class, the name that you just gave it, as well as the teacher of the class or the person who created it. There are three main areas in Google Classroom that you'll be working in. The first area is the stream. This is the main area. It's sort of like the news feed in Facebook. The stream is where you will create new assignments and announcements, and any communication, comments, posts, anything like that will show up here in the stream. The Students tab is where you can get the code for students to join your class. It shows class code on the left side of the screen as well as in the middle of the screen. When you log your students in, the very first time, they're going to click the plus sign that was up here in the right corner by their name. They will then click Join Class, and this is the code that they will put in when prompted in order to join your Math Block 1 class. If you start to have students join your class that should not be there, or this code has been given out to students that do not need it, you have the ability to reset it or to disable. If you need to reset to produce a new code for additional students, you can click the reset button and it will change your code. It does not affect the students who are already in your class. If you change the code, this will not affect those students. The Students tab also will allow you to determine if you want students to be able to post and comment on other students' posts, if you want them to only be able to comment, or if you want them to only be able to view and the teacher is the only one that can create a new post or a comment. Again, these posts and comments will show up under the Stream tab, but this is where you make the selection on what rights you want to give the students. A new feature that Google has just added to Classroom are Guardian email summaries. On the left side of the screen under the Students tab, you see that you can determine whether you want this class to be included in Guardian email summaries or not simply by turning the switch on and off. You can decide, do you want to add all of your classes? If not, uncheck it and you can add just this one class or say no thanks and not have any Guardian email summaries. The Guardian email summary will send a summary each week to the parents. Parents can decide whether they want it weekly or daily, and they'll receive an email showing the students any missed assignments for the past week, any upcoming assignments for the next week, or any current announcements for your class. To see an example of what a Guardian email summary would look like, you can click the See Example link here on the left side of your screen. Okay, so the Student tab again is just to simply get a code to allow students to join your class or to contact their parents by email so that they can receive information about what their child is doing in your Google Classroom. You will need to know the Guardian's email in order to allow them to receive these summaries. The last tab is the About tab. In the About tab, you can create a class description, a location where your class meets, but two of the neatest things are that you can open any assignment due dates in Google Calendar. If you click this, it will then create a calendar on your Google Calendar page for Math Block 1, and it will insert any due dates that you have for this class into your Google Calendar. Another neat option is to invite an additional teacher. If you have a coworker, for example, you could click here to invite another teacher to join your class, and if they accept, it will show their name and picture at the top of the screen. So you could have multiple teachers for the same class. If you add another teacher to a class that you created, they will have every right in that class and the ability to do everything that you can do, except they will not be able to delete the class. And that is pretty much an overview of Google Classroom, how to create a class, and how to change your theme at the top of the screen.